Prime Minister Narendra Modi also met several world leaders in Brazil on the sidelines of the G20 summit and discussed ways to improve and strengthen bilateral ties. One of the major bilateral was Prime Minister Modi's meet with UK's Prime Minister Keir Starmer on Monday on the sidelines of the ongoing summit. Both leaders underlined the importance of resuming the free trade agreement negotiations at an early date and expressed confidence in the ability of the negotiating teams to address the remaining issues to mutual satisfaction, leading to a balanced, mutually beneficial and forward-looking free trade agreement. In fact, this was the first meeting between two prime ministers. The two prime ministers reaffirmed their commitment to strengthen the India-UK Comprehensive Strategic Partnership. Prime Minister Modi announced the establishment of two new Consulates General of India in the United Kingdom in Belfast and Manchester. They also exchanged views on issues of mutual interest, including on international and regional issues of significance. And Prime Minister of India, Narendra Modi, also held bilateral meetings with leaders of France, Italy, Norway, Portugal, Egypt and South Korea on the sidelines of the G20 summit. Details in our next report.
India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi held bilateral meetings with a number of world leaders on the sidelines of the G20 summit in Rio de Janeiro in Brazil. Prime Minister held talks with the French President Emmanuel Macron. The leaders agreed to advance cooperation between both countries in sectors such as space, defense, energy, technology and more. The leaders talked about how India and France will keep working closely in sectors like space, energy, AI, and other such futuristic areas. Prime Minister also complimented Macron on the successful hosting of the Paris Olympics and the Paralympics earlier this year. Prime Minister also held a bilateral meeting with his Portuguese counterpart Luis Montenegro. The talks focused on adding more vigour to economic linkages. Sectors like renewable energy and green hydrogen offer many opportunities for more collaboration. The leaders also talked about strong defence relations, people-to-people linkages and other such subjects. Prime Minister noted that India cherishes the long-standing ties with Portugal. Besides, Prime Minister Modi also met with Italian Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni on the sidelines of the G20 summit. The talks centered around deepening ties in defense, security, trade and technology. Leaders also talked about how to boost cooperation in culture, education and other such areas. Prime Minister said that India-Italy friendship can greatly contribute to a better planet. Besides, Prime Minister also met with Norwegian Prime Minister Jonas Gahr Store. The discussions focused on ways to deepen India-Norway bilateral relations, particularly in trade and economic cooperation after the signing of the India-EFTA-TEPA. The leaders also exchanged views on geopolitical issues. Prime Minister held a bilateral meeting with the Indonesian President Prabowo Subianto. Taking to social media platform, Prime Minister said that this year is special for both countries as we are marking 75 years of diplomatic relations. Talks focused on improving ties in commerce, security, healthcare, pharmaceuticals, among others. Fuzail Ahmed's report for DD India.